It is 11:01, so I am going to go ahead and get started. We got about 80 of you on, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to join us today. We are going to get through just how we can best support you guys and kind of what we've had going on for 2024 and what we have to look forward to in 2025. So, just some quick topics, but again, hoping to get some feedback from you guys. So, if you missed the very first intro, I'm playing with some polls features in Teams to get some feedback from you guys. So if you do see the polls options and you see my polls, if you would go into that poll section inside of the Teams app and answer those questions. I played with it before with my coworker, and I was able to like get it to pop up on the screen and everything. But for some reason, it's not cooperating with me now. So unfortunate, but we're going to continue to kind of see how those features work out for us because I think it could be really fun to get some feedback from you guys with some of those polls. So if you do see the polls, go give those some answers, and we'll be sharing that feedback with my team. So we're going to get right into it. We are here to help you, right? If you haven't already heard, some of you are very used to calling or emailing us directly. But what we're really pushing forward this year is the help desk. It is going to give you a much faster, more organized way to get support. It is the way of the future. This is where we are these days as we got to get things tracked and organized and centralized. We're all growing as businesses, which is awesome. But in order to best support you guys, we need you to be using the proper channels. So the majority of this meeting is going to be about that help desk. And we're going to go through all the different things that you can do in there and how to get signed up. And hopefully you guys take this back to your team. I do have almost 100 people on this webinar. So I'm hoping that we've got representation from every single customer of ours. But if not, this will be posted to our YouTube channel, so you guys will get to check it out and send it to your other employees. So please share this information. I know that most of you here are probably admins, which is great. But this tool is for everyone. So we want to make sure that we're sending the correct message to the rest of the team so that they know the proper way to get support and to help you a bit faster. By submitting tickets through this service desk, you're going to ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. You're always going to know exactly where your issue stands. When you call or email, your request can get lost in the shuffle. We all know how it is with emails. I had a recent client that I worked on implementing, and recently they had to go back and search through all the emails to make sure that they had a good list of all the open issues that we might not have attacked. And it's easy to lose sight of all the emails coming through. And the service desk is just going to ensure that your ticket is tracked, not only tracked, but it's prioritized and it gets to the right person the fastest. So
Hey,
it's a
Steph,
simple, yeah.
real quick, we're looking at a blank screen just so you know. Not sure.
No,
Yeah, not sure if you're aware. Okay.
thank you.
Mhm.
1 second, bear with me. Definitely had some stuff up on the slides there, so give me 1 second. How about now?
Oh, some are saying they could see the slides. Maybe this is just my view then. I can't see anything.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay.
I stopped sharing, yeah, and then I reshared, so bear with me,
Okay,
guys.
carry on. Yeah, some can see and some can't. It's
Okay, 1 second. Lots of good feedback. Thank you, guys. Let me stop one more time and try that again. Teams is fighting me this morning. Okay. Wow. I tried 3 different windows so far. Not doing the trick. Some more time. Bear with us, guys. Technical difficulties. I know you can't see my screen, so working on it.
There you
How
go.
about
Can't
now?
see it now. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. That's not good for me though. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. The feedback is amazing. Okay, so what we were going through is just, the benefits of using this service desk. I want you to see the benefits of it. A lot of people, we've got some feedback, very small feedback, want to pick up the phone and call us, again, that those things get lost in the shuffle, tracking a ticket, documenting it, putting it into a one centralized location is definitely going to be the best way to get you guys the help that you need, but also the clarity and the transparency that we believe that is going to really benefit you all to make sure that your tickets are getting closed out and assessed as quickly as possible. So it's just a simplified process to create and track those tickets, keeping everything organized in one place. Additionally, we're going to go through some of the tools inside of that help desk, that service desk, because what you're going to find is that there is some self-service areas there. You're going to be able to find answers to common questions quickly and without having to go in and create a ticket. So you could potentially get the answers you need without having to put something in, waste that time, and obviously have to wait on somebody to get you some answers. So there is some self-service knowledge base there. Additionally, clear trackable tickets. We can address your concerns more efficiently. Like I said, we're all growing and we need to make sure that we are able to support you with a ticketing system. We can see that volume of issues and make sure that we address internally in the proper way. We're going to prioritize internally a lot better and being able to recognize patterns and prioritize and ensuring that we focus on the high impact items first, right? So all of these things that this ticketing system is going to give us are going to benefit you and us. So we need you guys to be making sure that you're letting your folks know internally that this is the way to best get help. A lot of direct emails still going out. We're going to talk about how you can use this one centralized system for all ways of communicating with anyone at eManage, okay, including myself. So let's get going and talk about how we can get you in there and get you logged in and all of those things. So right within the program, you're going to be able to, and if I haven't already mentioned, if most of you have been to my webinars, use the chat room. I've got people manning that chat room from support and training. So post your questions, post your feedback. This We want to help you guys. So this is for you. If you have feedback that you think is important to share, we want to hear it, good, bad, and ugly. Okay. So use that chat room. As far as how to sign up, if again, if you haven't seen those polls, go take those polls. I am curious who has in this room has already signed up for the service desk. Just a quick little poll there. You can answer a question. Marisa sent a screenshot of where to access that. I am very curious who has already signed up. Some of you may have not even heard about this yet, which is would be a little shocking, but we want you to get in there and sign up. So how to do that? You're going to go up to the help menu within eManage. It's in all of our email signatures as well, if you haven't already seen that. So there is a direct link to it. When you go up to help and you hit send a help request, it's going to take you to a web portal. Okay. That's where you're going to go in and be able to access all these different tools that we have available to you. Everyone can sign up. We're going to talk about best practices there really quickly. I do believe a strong internal implementation plan and where I've seen dealers really, really um, take eManage to the furthest capability that they can is having a very good internal plan. I do see that the strongest users typically have those internal champions. Okay, eManage champions or admins that you can funnel your issues through. Now, if you're not getting what you need from them, we need you guys to be submitting those tickets directly from the user that it's happening from. We're seeing a lot of tickets that have a little bit of a longer time frame to completion because of the back and forth. The best way to get, eliminate that back and forth is definitely to put that user in touch with the service team, the support team directly. We don't need you to be saying that, explaining what their issue is, because a lot of times we'll have additional questions that we do need to ask if you're not giving us all the information up front. So if you can have those users submit the issue directly to the team, everyone can sign up for this, okay? And you want to be signed up. I am also experiencing a lot of tickets coming through that are letting us know that it was submitted from not being signed in. We get little notifications on our end that say that you weren't signed in. It's important when you first log in. If you see this second screenshot down here, hopefully you can see where my pointer is there. If it says log in when you hit send a help request and it opens you up to the service desk portal, if it says log in there, you need to get logged in. Okay. That way you are able to go back all those benefits that I talked about with being able to look at your past tickets and what open tickets you have. You're not going to be able to do that if you're not logged in. It can still get to us. So technically you don't have to be signed up, but it's definitely the more efficient way to get into the help desk and be able to manage those tickets that you have submitted. So get logged in there. Okay. So the next step, if you are trying to get logged in, signing in properly, what's going to happen is you're going to use your own work email address. Okay. Not your e-manage login. We get lots of emails about that. I'm trying to use my e-manage login. It's not connected to that. So you're just going to use your work email address. And when you hit next, it's going to pop up with it. If you haven't already signed up, if you have signed up, you're going to use your password that you told the system, the service desk, that you want to use. Again, it's not your e-manage password or login. Okay. So you're going to get in there. Hopefully everybody's seeing my screen okay. I see some comments coming in. You're going to get in there and use your email address, and it'll prompt you to sign up with a password. I believe it sends an email back to you. So once you hit sign up with password with your work email address, it's going to send you an email to get that password registered. Okay. Once you get logged in, you're going to be able to see that we actually have it connected to our help guide tool. So I've been shoving the help guide down everyone's throats, for the past few years now. The help guide tool is actually embedded into the service desk. So one-stop shop. Okay, this is your one centralized location to get help, whether you want to self-serve or you want to go in and actually submit a ticket. So when you first get in and you see that welcome to eManageONE service desk at the top and it says search for information, that's where it's actually searching the help guide. That's not where you submit a ticket. Okay, we're trying to guide you to try to see if you can get some help from our already documented, very well documented help guide. Okay. And right underneath that, you're going to see a list of really, really repetitive topics that come up. As again, we're putting together patterns on our end. The same tickets come through about, setting up a new employee or user. You can see right below that search information, there are some very well visited topics there, or topics that come up very frequently. So if you want to self-serve and go check out that help guide and see if it gives you what you need, definitely check that out. Okay. Then keep scrolling down the web page. And if you aren't getting what you need from that top section, that self-serve section, you're going to see a few different types of tickets that you can submit. Again, one-stop shop. Okay, this is where accounting folks, you have a billing or licensing question, you can go in there and you could submit those questions right through this help portal, this help desk. Training, you have an additional training request. It's not a how do I do this, or I'm experiencing an issue. You actually need additional training for a new employee, or it's a more training related question. Put in help with understanding a feature or training inquiries, that second option. Okay. If not, you have that issue and error messages area where you can submit any type of technical issue that you're experiencing. Okay, so this is a one-stop shop. This is how we should be communicating with anybody that you want to communicate with at eManage, even the training department. So I know people email me directly quite a bit. We are all over this. Multiple people are in the training queue now. So if I'm unable to get to you very quickly, this is the best way to get the help that you need as quickly as possible. Okay. And we're able to put together those patterns. What areas of the system are continuously coming up so that we can improve it? If we don't use this, we're not going to be able to put together those patterns and see how we can better help you and improve the software. Okay. We even have an area, a little drop box there for suggestions or new features. Okay. So if you have a suggestion, we have been slow to review those suggestions or new features. A lot of really good stuff coming in. Definitely going to be a big focus of ours now and going forward. So please drop those in. I know that we haven't gotten back to you on all of them, the suggestions or new features. So that's okay. You dropped them in there. Your ideas have been submitted. We will review those internally and prioritize them based on, uh, necessity, right? All right. Hopefully, my support team, Marisa, you guys are helping get them in there. Boo for not being able to see my screen. I'm really sorry, but I do see it on my phone and I try to see what you guys are seeing. So I'm going to keep going. Hopefully, you can pay attention to what we're talking about. That's most important. There are some really good article or screenshots here. What I could probably do is load this PowerPoint presentation maybe into the chat after so you guys can download that and take a peek at the screenshots. However, I say that all of this is documented in the help guide, guys. So if you are wanting to share with your team how to sign up for the service desk, technically it's all in the help guide. So you'll get to see those screenshots there as well. Kind of pause in to let this kind of soak in. If there's questions or feedback that I need to address verbally, Marisa, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep it moving. This is just how to get signed up, the different ticket types that you have available to you to communicate with the right person. All right, switching gears here. This is the most important thing that I hope that all of you walk away with. The more information that you provide us, the better we're going to be able to serve you. Okay. More information is better than not enough information. We're seeing some of the back and forth. And if you go back and look at your back and forth, it's more than likely going to be, gathering additional information. The more that you can give us, the better. If we're dealing with like a financial, let's say QuickBooks integration issue, screenshots, so helpful. Both sides of the system, both eManage and in QuickBooks. We cannot access your QuickBooks files. So what you're seeing on the QuickBooks side could be very beneficial for us to help troubleshoot any issues that you're experiencing with QuickBooks integration. Okay. Other than that, note those project numbers. There's a little statement there when you do try to go submit a technical support request. There's a whole blurb up there that talks about the information that you should provide us. It's there for a reason, just like prerequisites and action items, right? We need you guys to supply us the information that we are asking for so that we can help you as quickly as possible. Okay, so upload those files. If you're experiencing an issue with a CIF file or an XML file, attach those files. The more, the better, so that we don't have to go back and forth with you. The whole idea is that we don't have to get into a screen share with you or on the phone with you and hold you up for 30 minutes, an hour, multiple hours. I've dealt with some different types of service in the service industry, different types of ways that people handle these service requests. And I do believe that what we're trying to do here is definitely keep your downtime, as little as possible. We can troubleshoot on our end. We can access your databases and go through the different troubleshooting techniques that we have to get you the answers that you need as quickly as possible without holding you up on the phone, okay, or in a screen share if we can. Of course, if most of you who have experienced, being in the service desk, you probably experienced Mariah or Melanie or Robbie, wanting to schedule a call with you. If it does require that, we will schedule a call with you and we will screen share and figure out what's going on. Okay. But this is going to allow us to document it. If it's an issue, a serious software issue, we're going to be able to use these tickets to put together those patterns and resolve these issues as quickly as we possibly can. Okay. So provide as much information as you possibly can. The more, the better. Even those error messages. everyone knows the little spinning wheel of death up there next to the help menu. Um, we have all adopted that nickname at this point, which is fine. But that error message is important to us. Open it up. You can copy the text in it and you can paste it right into your ticket. That way, again, documentation is key. Anything that I need to address verbally, Marisa, we're doing okay?
Yeah, there's just some that are just not seeing it, so I don't know how it's working for some and not the others. I've never come across this before, so
Yeah.
not sure how to assist. But we'll be putting it in the chat, like she said, afterwards. I'm so sorry.
Apologies, guys. Yeah, the typically like at the bottom when you see your teams, there might be two windows and you just have to click on one of them. I will absolutely be sharing this recording. We put all of our recordings on our YouTube channel, so you'll be able to go back and see it there as well. All right. Again, if you're in the chat and you can look at those polls, please, this would be where I would drop my third poll. Just curious if those of you who have been in the service desk already, what your feedback is, how your experience is going, just overall experience. Um, Definitely feel free to reach out to me directly. Most of you have my direct email address, but feel free to reach out to me directly if you find that you're not getting what you need out of it. It's a work in process, and we are going to address whatever we need to address to make this better and to serve you better. Okay. This is just a quick little video of seeing how you can actually get logged in. At the top right corner, when you're logged in, you're going to actually get to click on your little icon bubble up there and you can hit request. And what you can do is go in and actually see all your open requests by default, but you can click close request to see your past resolved issues. So maybe you got an email notification that there was somebody who commented on a ticket and you want to go check that out, but it's been resolved at the same time of the comment. You can definitely go check out those resolved issues as well. I'm going to let this play back one more time. This is where you can go in and add additional comments. You can put a link in there, add images, videos, files, additional things that we're asking you to add. That's been one thing that has been a little bit of a struggle as far as adding additional documents to the tickets when someone in support might ask you for some additional information. So I'm going to play that back one more time. So here you can see we can go in and hit that icon in the top right corner. You can hit request, and then you'll see your open request by default, but you can hit that drop down of status open request and see your closed request as well. Something else that I showed in this video here is that you can go in and see what's created by you. By default, I believe it'll go to all, but if you want to filter down, you can do that as well. Where that comes into play is my admins, right? If you want to be able to go in and see who other people's tickets, you're going to be able to share it with other people. You can share it with an entire organization. So anyone who, let's say, works at Wegman Company, if the organization Wegman is added there, then my admin at Wegman would be able to see all of the tickets submitted by all the different users. So this is why it's important that we get individual users signed up and submitting those tickets directly. You're still going to have that transparency and the visibility to go in and see what types of tickets are coming in from your company. So that organization shared is over there on the right side. If you're having any issues or questions about what we're reviewing today, definitely let us know. Give us that feedback. If you're not comfortable getting into that ticketing system and you have more questions and the help guide articles aren't giving you what you need, definitely reach out to me directly and we'll get you trained up in the areas that you need so that you have all the exposure you need to what you're over as far as if you're an admin. I'm mostly speaking my admins at this point. Again, this is where you can go in and add additional comments. The big thing that I want to point out is the icons on top there. That's where you can go in and add additional images or text or, I'm sorry, attachments so that you can get us all the information that we need there. Share it with whoever you need to share it with so that way everyone has that transparency. Hopefully everybody got that okay. You can go in. I wanted to point out here that you can go into your profile and you can change your own password. I think I mentioned that at the beginning, but just to make sure, um, if you get locked out, you don't need to reach out to me directly and find out what your password is or what your login is. Use your work email address to log in. And if you don't know your password, there's a reset password button at the login screen. But if you'd like to change it so that you don't forget what it is next time and to a more simple password or your standard passwords, go into your profile and just change your password there if you are logged in. Ooh, racist and it polls. All right. That is my spiel on the help desk. I hope that you all see the benefits of this. It's definitely going to help us put together, like I said, the biggest thing for me is I want to put together patterns of tickets coming in. Where are the issues really at in the software, so that we can resolve them as quickly as possible. If we're emailing people directly, it is much, much more difficult to put together reports on what's happening in the emails. So even my recent implementations, my recent trainees that are might be on the call. If you'd like to sign up for this right away and start submitting tickets there so you start getting some comfortability, you can certainly go in and sign up for the help desk today, and start putting in training requests. Like we do want you to still go through, if you're a recent trainee, you still need to go through the training section of the help desk until further notice. Okay, we'll let you know when you can start reaching out to support, but your issues are going to be much more training focused than technical issues. Right. I'm going to come back and hopefully you're getting what you need out of the chat room there, but I will certainly circle back and make sure you're getting taken care of. Switching gears, you guys, what you missed in 2024, if you haven't, just a few little, I feel like standout features that came out this year that I want you to make sure that you're taking advantage of. There was a lot. So when you're in eManage, if you go up to help, you can see the release notes. That'll take you to a public space where you can see all of the different updates and releases that came out over the whole year. I'm just highlighting some of the big ones that I feel like people are still asking questions about or maybe not actually taking advantage of. So our first introduction of AI, not action items, but artificial intelligence, we came out with Ask eManage. So when you first log into eManage, if you're not getting this pop-up, then you're probably not on the latest version, or you potentially aren't on the cloud. This is my little time to kind of drop a little note. If you are on this call and you are not on our cloud setup, please reach out to me. Let's connect. Let's find out why you're not on the cloud and get you over to the cloud. Eventually, we are going to get rid of on-prem. Okay, it is the route that most software systems are taking. We're not going to do it anytime soon. Don't freak out. But we are going to be, getting everybody onto the cloud at some point. There are so many benefits to take advantage of on the cloud setup. And this is just one of them. I'm going to talk about a couple of them today, probably. But if you're logging in and you see this Ask eManage pop up and it says connection preferences, we've been getting some emails about this and some tickets. What is this? It's all documented in the help guide, so go check it out. Search for Ask eManage and it'll pop up and walk you through some of the highlights of what I'm going to talk about today, but even go into more depth on what this tool is for. So this is our first run at AI. You want to enter in your connection string. You do have to get this from the support team. So put in a ticket and ask for your connection string if your admin doesn't already have it, which they should. But definitely get that from support. You can't get it from anywhere else other than potentially your admin or support. It's not like hidden anywhere for you to grab. It is the same key that you use in the mobile apps. So again, another huge cloud user benefit. But that's the same connection string. So if you know that one, you can definitely use the same one. Case sensitive, make sure you're careful about that. Put in that connection string, save the connection. What's going to pop up next? Every time you log into eManage, you're going to get this pop up that says Ask eManage. This is our first run at it. We need your feedback. Please start using it. If you need to know how to do something or ask it about a project, you can type in anything you want. Now, whether the results are perfect or not, I can't guarantee that, but we don't know until you use it. So you got to use it. And what we need you to be doing is definitely providing that feedback. So you'll see the thumbs up, thumbs down. You can even copy it and paste it and share it with another team member if you needed to, or paste it into another document. So some cool tips down there, tool tips down there to use. But we need you guys to be using it. Again, you can ask it anything about something happening in your system, about a project, about an order, but you also can ask it how to do things. So this is your, another a self-guided, self-help tool to go in and say, how do I create a new contact? How do I create an invoice? And what it's going to do is actually link you to a help guide article. So it's all there, but it'll summarize it for you. So it is going to give you a really nice summarized response, but then it give you a help guide article for more details if you needed to dig into it. So hopefully those of you who have been seeing this, you've been using it, providing some feedback. That way we can just keep making this better. Think of how powerful this can be for new users that come on board with you guys. Getting in there, don't really, you might have had some training, but being able to self-help and not bug anybody for additional assistance. This is their little self-help tool. Okay. I see a lot of people talking about the polls. Got everybody excited about polls and giving feedback, which I love, but hopefully you're also making sure you're listening to what's going on over here. Punch list feature came out this year, I believe, maybe end of last the 2023, but I feel like it was in 2024. I can't stress how impactful this has been for the dealers who have been really taking full advantage of this feature. Inside of the desktop app, so whether you're on the cloud or on-prem, you're going to have access to at least the punch list desktop feature. So that's what you're seeing on the left side of the screen is right within the desktop application. On your top toolbar, you're going to see a big new punch list icon there. Make sure you're using this. So if you're not on the cloud, you have to do it within the desktop application. But it is a really cool tool to be able to get in there and attack those issues that are coming up on site. Use this as like a to-do list. It doesn't have to necessarily be, damages or whatnot. If you need to remind your installers to, go out and clean up the workspace, or, a follow-up punch list might be um, delivered the chair to the wrong person and they need to come grab it from this and take it to another. This punch list is really just a issue, an area to put in a list of issues per issue as well, so that you can attack them individually. So go in there and put that in. But more importantly, this is going to benefit the dealer as far as reporting goes, being able to go back and look at all the different punch lists that happen on a project or on all the projects, and where those issues are coming from. What's the source of those issues, and how can we prevent that from happening next time? It's only as good as what you put into it. So get all this information into the system so that you can go back and report on it and make better business decisions moving forward. Um, Add those images, all those things. On the right side of the screen, you're seeing the mobile app screenshot there. Again, if you're a cloud user, this is again another huge benefit if you're on the cloud setup. I love it. I love the punch list feature. Me too. It's just so nice to be able to organize, the issues and attack them as quickly as possible so we can get paid as quickly as possible and move on. Um, I'm using this punch list feature here internally as well for issues that are happening on my end. So it's been a great tool. Add those images from the mobile app. There's some automation built in from the mobile app. So again, if you're a cloud user and you're not getting at least your supervisors on board with this to go out into the field and submit a punch list, add the image, what was the issue, where did it happen? This is going to automatically trigger if you have everything set up properly. Again, documented in the help guide. If you have everything configured properly, you're going to be able to go in and get an action item from the desktop application. So it'll automatically mark the project as a punch list, a hot job, centralized location to see all of our punch list jobs in one area of the system, that today panel, but also, in each individual project, what went wrong, let's review it at the end of the project as well. Sit down with your PMs and your installers and talk about why did all this, happen and how can we prevent it from happening next time? All right. Another big one that came out that I have not been able to spend as much time on with you guys as I'd like to. This is going to hopefully get you excited to start digging in and using this. I will try to get this. There's bits and pieces of it that are documented, but not all of it's documented because it's still very, very new to us. The action items were one of the first grids that we enhanced. So when you go into the help guide, you're going to look at the enhanced grid functionality. There are still some old grids in the system, more than the new grids, obviously, but this is where we are going. This is the direction we are taking the system. And what I'm about to show you on screen, I hope gets you as pumped up as it does our team, because with these new grids, you're going to be able to take advantage of what we call, or what the grid function is called, conditional formatting. Being able to go in and really control visually how you want to see these grids. So I'm going to show you in the action items grid, but I want you to start getting excited for the direction we're taking the system for all the grids. I want you to think about how important this can be and impactful it can be, like let's say in the current opportunities grid, to be able to color coordinate, or not coordinate, but create rules to be able to visually see things that should stand out to me. That's kind of what I would consider conditional formatting in a nutshell. So take a peek at this. This is just an example of how you can use this conditional formatting. You go in, you'll see that you can go right click on top of any column and access that conditional formatting menu, and you'll hit manage rules. And I'm creating a rule here. I'm going to pause it for just a moment so you understand what you're looking at. I'm, I'm sorry, bear with me just one moment. What you can see here is that I'm going to create a rule that turns an action item, an action to perform, bold red when it passes the requested due by date. So when someone sends you an action item, let's use design as an example, and they say, I need this design by this Friday. And here comes Monday. The whole thing should turn it. This one actually, I made the project name turn red, but you can turn the whole line item red, bold, or whatever you choose to make it stand out, highlight it yellow, whatever you want to do. You can create these rules to based on what's happening inside the grid to turn to a different color or highlight it in some form or fashion. So what I did here was, again, I right clicked. I'm going to start this over. I right clicked on top of any column header. This one I did on project name, but I hit manage rules under conditional formatting. I'm going to click new rule. And the one that I find the most beneficial is the formula. So I'm using a formula to determine, and I'm changing it from project name to requested due by date. If I had right clicked on requested due by date, then it would have populated. And in the middle there, I'm changing the equals to say less than or equal to. So Friday or before, I want it to change the requested due by date. And did you catch that real quick? I'm going to back up just a little bit. I clicked right on top of the icon there. So it's because it says enter a value. If you hit that little, I think it's like an edit button. If you hit that little edit button, it changes the whole field. And I can actually click on the field and now select from other fields. So I'm going to say at the very bottom, I can click date and constraints there, and I can say today. So you're creating these like dateless formulas, and then I tell it what I want it to do. So I change it to red, and I make the font style bold. And then I hit OK, and OK again. And now I have a new rule. So I have multiple rules in here, but when I expand out, you can see how all of these are past due. So it changed it to red. Now I've got some other rules in here so that you can see that there's different ways that you can kind of create these different formulas to make things stand out. And red flag, attention, attention. We all like the, that visual metrics definitely help us wrap our arms around what we've got going on when we have multiple things happening at one time. So that came out last year. I don't remember what time of the year it was. We've had it for a bit, but the actions to perform grid is that new grid. Again, it's documented in the help guide, so go check out those resources so that you can get the information you need to create these different rules. And if you have any questions, put in a help ticket and we can get you what you need. I want to do this. I tried to do this, but it's not working. If that, give us as much information as you possibly can, and we'll get you the solution that you need. Love that feature. All right. Accounting folks in the room, we did have a couple of changes to the customer invoice window. We came out with a couple of different features this last year. Getting quite a bit of emails about the show statement on invoice. It does auto check to show the statement. Most of the feedback I'm getting is that they love this. The ability to send your customer a current invoice and show them what they haven't paid yet is pretty powerful. Not having to go in and send a separate statement and just making them aware, hey, you've got some other bills that are past due for us, and here you go. So pretty cool feature there. If you'd like to turn it off, you can uncheck the box. It's a simple uncheck and save and print, and you'll get it without the statement of account. We are working on for the next update. I don't believe it came out yet, but I think it's in the next one. Ravi, definitely chat in and correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe the what will be coming out is the ability to maybe save your last choice or save a default setting. Not exactly sure how that panned out, but it is on our radar. We did get a lot of feedback that some people wanted to just completely turn it off. If you want to be able to do that and it remember your choice, we're working on that. As far as the other feature that came out for invoices, that invoice by line item, again, a lot of really good feedback on that. Being able to just go in and unselect what you don't want to invoice for. You just delivered part of the project, just these couple of chairs. You can click that invoice by line item and simply uncheck what you don't want to invoice for, or clear it all and then check what you do want to invoice for. So some different functionality on that left side when you do click invoice by line item. And of course, all the auto mapping is going to happen automatically. So it'll auto pull the accounts based on what you've selected and only post to your general ledger accounts accordingly. Another really cool feature, I think, that came out this year. So just want to make sure we are all aware of those big features that came out. So to wrap us up here, again, if you have a poll there that you can go into and check out, seeing that there's some good feedback coming in. So I'm going to review that chat room in just a bit. But as far as what to expect in the future, just a quick little preview. I'd love to hear your feedback on this as well. If you want to chat in and let me know what you feel is most important. If it's not on this list and you want to tell me that this is absolutely the most important thing to me, we will absolutely take that into consideration. The more votes that we get on something, the more it's going to take higher priority. So these are some of the items that were coming in over the last year, over the last few years, that we've got to get to. And so one of those definitely is, enhancing security. It's definitely up top of mind for us. We've got some dealers that are going through some CMMC, I think is what it is. Some, high level security applications that they're going through to make sure that they are meeting all the requirements to be able to support certain contracts. Government contracts and things like that. And MFA is one of those that has to be, in their business management system. Some other things as well that are definitely on our radar, but that one is coming very, very soon. If not, yeah, I think very, very soon. We do have a security update coming out. So MFA will be in that. If you aren't aware of what that is, just in a nutshell, I'm sure most of you do know what it is, but in a nutshell, you can go in and get a code basically to be able to verify that it's you via email or text message. And you'll have to enter a code to be able to get into eManage. So MFA, huge part of upgrades as far as security goes. always improving web services, but I feel like even more so this year, it's going to start booming as far as web services goes, and the different manufacturers that are providing additional web services that we can connect with. Hayworth is a big one, really leading the way, I feel like, as far as web services goes, which is awesome. They're helping us set the bar and getting things ready for when these other manufacturers start getting these other things in line as well. We'll be ready for it. We are ready for it. So if there's a manufacturer that you're logging into a portal and uploading an order or downloading an acknowledgement, something of the sorts, if you're going into a manufacturer's portal, ideally we could get that embedded into eManage and you can do all of it right within the software. All right. File retention, definitely, again, another one top of the mind. We need to be able to create rules in the system to archive, old documents, large documents, things like that, so that we can ensure that the speed stays at the top level as much as we can control. File retention is key to making sure that software runs as efficiently as possible. So that will be something to look forward to in 2025. Those customizations that I've been talking about for a bit. Some of you might have experienced it in the Quick Company Contact Lead form. I call it the QCCL. But that Quick Company Contact Lead form, you can actually manipulate the form completely. You can change what the labels actually say, and you can move things around or get rid of fields that you don't want people having to worry about filling in. We're going to be doing this in other areas of the system as well, such as project information or order entry. We're also going to be adding some additional user-defined fields. So you can create the label whatever way you want, put in whatever drop downs you want to be able to be selected from on that new field. And now you have a brand new field to be able to gather more information in different areas of the program. So project information, that's a big one. You want to add maybe you have a salesperson, designer, project manager, and a project coordinator that you want to put on there, but we don't have a specific space for that PC. You're going to be able to do that in the near future. Very cool stuff. As we talked about earlier with the updated grids, we're just going to keep updating those grids to what you're experiencing and the actions to perform. So everything in the today panel, all the different grids throughout the system. That'll be a very slow rollout, but every bit helps. And we are very aware of the ones that should come as far as priority goes. But if you have feedback, definitely let us know. Always mobile enhancements, mobile app enhancements. You're going to be able to see those much more live. We put out updates regularly to the mobile apps. We don't have to schedule them as much, like we do with the desktop app. So just going to continue to enhance those mobile apps and functionality of what you can do in there. I think actions to perform or submitting an action item is on the radar. Just being able to do more in the apps. You're never going to be able to do everything in the mobile apps, but it certainly is going to keep enhancing. And then, of course, we all want to see the user interface keep improving. We've done some big improvements over the last couple of years, and we're just going to continue to do so. Your feedback means a lot on that. If you have some ideas of how you would like the user interface to lay out, definitely let us know. That feedback is very, very helpful, but definitely high on our radar as well. Keeping that user interface to keep improving that user interface. All right. I would like to take a moment to kind of review. And at this point, if you would like to raise your hand, if there's anything that you want to speak up about, this is for you guys. You can raise your hand, and I believe that we can unmute you on our end. I know you come in muted. It's a webinar, it's kind of the default setting. But if there's anything that you would like to speak up about, any type of feedback, good, bad, ugly, we'll take it. Definitely raise your hand or keep chatting in. Risa, is there anything that I should address verbally with anybody as far as what's coming in from the chat room?
There's just specific notes that I'm jotting down so we can discuss after.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Got something coming in, yeah, from Michelle. You can invoice
Michelle.
by line item. You absolutely can. So this is why we have these webinars. Make sure you guys are aware of the features that are coming out. Definitely check out that help guide article. Oh, Rick. Okay. Yeah. Let's make some notes. Ravi will probably need you on that one. If you're missing I think what Rick is referring to is missing the little number on the action items. Lots of good feedback, good and bad. We love it. Totally understand that, Debbie. Yeah, not being able to put out a quote definitely takes high priority in our ticketing system as well. If you feel like you're not getting that ticket um, escalated as quickly as you feel like it should be, let me know. But yes, accounting issues, getting orders processed, quotes out to customers, non-priority things. How do I change a contact type? How do I delete a contact from my system? How do we definitely are aware of what's priority and what stops businesses in its tracks. And that is why we have to get you guys inserting tickets. Now, Debbie, if you're the one out of 20 people who can't submit a quote to a client, we would address it in the priority of how your ticket came in. So if you're number 19 on the list, we got to attack 1 through 18 first. Um, Same thing would happen if you pick up a phone or you send an email in. Unfortunately, emails are, going to get lost in the sauce of everything. So this ticketing system we cannot lose track of it. You're in the queue and we're going to get you taken care of. Love this feedback though. Making sure that we're all on the same page as far as expectations go. Lisa, that's already out there. You can definitely send a note in the mobile app and you can pick a user that you actually want to send it to. Sometimes I know it's hard to like slow down and check this stuff out because we're putting out mobile app enhancements really regularly. But sometimes you just got to slow down and take a look at our documentation or get into the mobile app because in the end, it's going to benefit you in the long run as far as efficiencies go. But sometimes it's hard to slow down and do that. Yeah, with punch list items, pictures, etc. It doesn't attach the note to a specific punch list item, but that's what the punch list note is for, and the pictures in the punch list prompts are for. So anything to do with a punch list, I would make sure it's attached to that punch list. As far as like just alerting someone of something, a random note unattached to a punch list, yes, you can absolutely send an alert or a note via the mobile app. And then, yeah, Maurice is kind of attacking some of that as well. So lots of good, like how questions. How do you prioritize? Absolutely, Rebecca. Yes, we do have SLAs that we do have to follow. Mariah, if you want to chat in, I don't want to get it wrong, but there is a time frame that they must respond to you on. And then we do have targets as far as, closing out tickets internally. But if Mariah, if you're here or Ravi, oh, let me unmute Mariah and she can speak to this. Mariah is our guru over there in the service desk. Oh, I'm gonna get you. There you go. We'll let Mariah
Hi,
speak up.
everyone.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Great. Yes, Rebecca, that is a great question. There absolutely is still a time frame, like Stephanie said. Only I would pose it more of like when it's a time frame of when we respond versus when we'll get it resolved. There's not really a way to give, a preface time of when something can be resolved, but we do aim to prioritize those that are affecting your guys' functionality and ability to do things within the system. To be more specific, our SLA currently is set at 24 hours for a response time, but I have definitely been making attempts to get back to you guys sooner than that, especially if I'm able to use my discretion and see that it is a urgent ticket.
And the more that we have you guys using it, the more we can identify where the holes are and we
Right.
can fill those holes. If we need to hire additional people to support you guys and our growth, we're going to hire more if we can't get these tickets closed out as quickly as we'd all like to see. All right, Samantha, we're going to note some information from these chat rooms. Anyone who's having specific issues, we really do need to get these into the service desk and we can address them as quickly as possible. I would challenge you, Samantha, has that ticket been submitted? We don't know about it. We find out about it in a chat during a webinar. It's hard for us to stop and assess it right now, but we will absolutely take care of you. But that's why we do need to get these tickets into the service desk and let somebody on the tech side get you taken care of as quickly as we possibly can. All right. Looks like it's kind of slowing down a little bit. Definitely some specific issues. Let's make sure those are tickets, and I will make sure that everything that happened in this chat room gets escalated. If it sounds like if we're bringing it to the chat room, we may have already tried to get an answer potentially. So if that is the case, I will definitely be reaching out to some of you folks and making sure that you're getting taken care of. Otherwise, really good feedback. I'm going to have to go back and I can't even believe how much was in the chat room today. Keep that coming. I'm going to try to commit to you guys a webinar per month for 2025. This is my goal for you. I would like to do more of these. I know I saw something about um, a user group that is in the works. We are actually revamping our whole website, which is coming with the community site. Been a little bit slower to get that done than I originally anticipated, but it is still coming and very much on the top of my priority list. But these webinars are great to get these conversations going as well. I want you guys to be able to connect with each other. But if you have actual issues and whatnot, I encourage you to go get those tickets submitted today. I know, Eden. I know, James. I'm working on it. We've got someone, yeah, we've hired outsourced to revamp our website and do some rebranding and whatnot. So working on it. I know how important it is, and I can't wait for it to come out. I'm excited for you guys to see what comes of all of it. But yes, thank you so much for coming and joining us. I'm going to end it here. We're at the 12 o'clock mark, but reach out to me directly. You guys know how to get in touch with me, but get those service tickets in and get us that feedback, suggestions. The suggestion box is also great for some of this feedback from the help desk as well. But we are listening and we are excited for a great year and looking forward to getting eManage, going even better every day. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.